Whakalahiatu and good evening. This is our BCN News Bulletin. Border control authorities and divisions within government are in a 3-day training workshop emphasizing the need for joint border control and security. The training workshop, organized by the Immigration Division, is facilitated by the Forum Secretariat with the assistance of some of the regional bodies such as the Oceania Customs Organization and PICD. Chief Immigration Officer Kimri Vaha says training for border security staff and personnel is a very important aspect of protecting our borders from illegal activities, understanding the legal policies, border boundaries and reasons why people move from country to country. Those involved in operations at the port of entries in the country will be learning from regional experiences to safeguard the island's resources and people. Mr. Vaha says that cooperation between different government departments is paramount to the success of protecting our borders. This level of cooperation, he said, should be extended further within the region and global networks working together to control and counteract illegal activity. Graduates and achievers that completed studies over the past 2 years were formally recognized last week in the New Achievers Awards ceremony. The program, organised by the National Training and Development Council, is held every 2 years as part of government's acknowledgement of the achievements in both the public and private sector. We spoke to the chairman of the council about government's outlook on training opportunities and recognition of achievements.
This year we recognized the 43 students who have achieved certificates, diplomas, degrees, doctorates over the past 2 years. And also celebrating the first 6 students passes from the APTC, which is a very, very excellent program. A program also acknowledged by the forum leaders as a success story in building capacity in the region. So therefore, this is a ceremony especially to acknowledge and to appreciate achievers over the past 2 years. The short-term trainings are provided for by the government for businesses. Now, this is an excellent opportunity also because the government is not only training people within the government but also out in the private sector. There is a training component. Also going forward, it's excellent to see a real partnership between the government and the private sector through the New Chamber of Commerce, through the youth employment system, apprenticeship system, and this, the government hopes that we capture all the students at high school.
The achievement ceremony has also been a reminder for government of the need for graduates to return. That has been an ongoing challenge for many years.
We're looking at in those who have sent out, to New Zealand, we have below 25% of returned students returning to Niue. If we compare that to the students we send out and train to study in the region, we have a near 100% return on those students, and also they are here. They will remain in Niue and they will help with the development of our country. We're not giving up on the students who have studied in New Zealand and not returning. As you heard the Premier announce recently of the 2 policies approved by Cabinet, this is in recognition of the achievements. If they do return, there will be a grant of $10,000, but it will not be paid out in cash. There are conditions, and also the government providing 50% repayment of student loans. We do acknowledge that there are employees in the government who have been working for a few years who still have student loans. The government, in recognition of the work they're doing, needs to do something to assist our employees in going forward. And these are significant policies that the government has put in place in order to assist with our students returning, and hoping also that some of our qualified young people in New Zealand will return to Niue.
Human resource development is an area that government continues to encourage with capacity building towards contributions in national developments. The spin tournament that was scheduled to be held in Niue in October has now been cancelled. The Oceania Regional Touch Championship competition was set to be hosted by Niue last year, but it was postponed due to the dengue outbreak, lack of a second flight and other reasons. The competition that is normally held every 2 years in between the South Pacific Games has had registered interest from 5 teams from the region. Plans to hold the tournament were then deferred to October of this year, but 2 teams eventually pulled out. Niue Island Touch Association President Stanley Kaloni says that it was still feasible to hold a tri-nation tournament, but with the recent withdrawal of those teams, they have decided to cancel the regional tournament. Mr. Kaloni says that despite the disappointment, they will now regroup and see whether Niue can lobby to host the next spin tournament in 2 years' time, but this will also be dependent on expressions of interest. Although the regional competition has been cancelled, plans are still in motion to host a local competition with the expected arrival of a team of Niueans in New Zealand. The Niue Touch representatives from New Zealand are scheduled to arrive next week to take on some of the local teams. An open men's and open mixed touch tournament will be held on the 5th of October and registrations are now open. Junior students of Niue High School competed in the Wangahau Niue speech competition yesterday. Wangahau Niue as a language appears to be in safe hands with the younger generation keen to show off their oratory skills in what was a very tough competition. One thing that was apparent in the speeches was that there were more girls represented, with only one male student in each of the 3 categories. Judges reflected on the difficult task they had to place each student based on their presentation, use of language and also props. However, the placings were for Year 7, Moshina Jackson winning way ahead of her classmates with her speech that reflected on the life of a young Niuean. Second place went to Regina Siohane and third placing to Riley Talamahina. In Year 8, it was Orchin Panama who impressed the judges with her speech about her ancestors. Second placing went to Shiloh Pahasisi and third went to Ajalee Hekesi. In the final category for Year 9, it was a very close competition with only a few points difference, but Gemma Paka was the proud winner in her age group. Her speech topic was about the significance of her village Mutalo. In second place was Maravina Siohane and third place went to Shailene Tovaka. Despite the placings, the encouragement from those who were given the difficult task of judging was for students to continue using the language to ensure its survival. The Alofi North fishing competition was held last Saturday with 42 canoes battling it out for the biggest catch and also for the heaviest catch in bottom fish. Only 4 big fish were caught on the day, with the biggest catch going to Langalavini with his 22-kilogram tuna albacore. The second prize for the albacore with 18 kilograms went to Atalasi Tawasi from Avasali. Tawafai Fuhiniu took the prize for catching the only wahoo weighing in at 11 kilograms, and Ricky Makani first prize for the only tuna caught on the day at 11 kilograms. The bottom fish competition was taken out by Amoni Similika for first prize. Second placing went to Lapuni Tonyakona and third New Tahatahenga. The reef fishing competition was won by Luka Tona for the boys and Eva Tamnevesi for the girls. Men's first prize went to Heriwai Pita and second prize to Tamuta Utalo. The first prize for the women's section of reef fishing and shells collection went to Mokaheka, second prize to Des Tovaka and third prize to Pilana Mutfo. The chairperson of the Alofi North Village Council and its committee were very thankful to everyone who turned out to the fantastic fishing event and are wishing everyone well for activities leading up to the annual show day this coming weekend. That is the conclusion of our news bulletin for tonight.